fact that everything is holding on to something that we don't have instead of going out to gain something that we need to get. Like, I want to be a part of a winning culture, and like just looking at how we do activity. Listen, I hear that, right? How we do activity as part of that culture, like I don't enjoy it because it's not winning culture behavior.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is D.A.J. McMullen. And before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
All things considered, bro, I'm fine. I'm doing just fine, bro. All things considered.
That's good. That's good, because anybody can, derail a whole situation just because of stumbling block in the pathway or in the road.
That's real. Yeah.
It's crazy how that's like the go-to adjective. Fine would be the adjective, right?
What?
Fine, like the phrase "I'm just fine" would be an adjective. You'd be using "fine" as an
Yeah.
Okay. So how come that's like the only word that anybody will ever use throughout their life? They use fine to describe like their whole life. Like it's just their whole life is defined by one word. Fine. Not good, not great, not excellent, just fine.
Or good. They use good.
I mean,
And, it's just just basic.
yeah. Very, very basic.
Like you come through and saying, yo, like somebody asks how you doing and you say, I'm doing phenomenal. They looking at you like, what?
Right?
What is that? What does that feel like?
Facts. Yep. And it's always looked at as like you're doing more than good, more than fine. It's like, all right, what's your secret? Like what substance you using, or what type of I don't know what type of activity you doing that's making you so chipper, so active, so phenomenal.
Or get the hell away from me.
That too. Like, I don't think this person is normal.
I usually get that.
It's insane. Instead of embracing it, you have people that push it away.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, man. What you been up to though? You've been staying busy, bro.
Been trying to. After work, I usually come home and fill up that book of ideas. I've been playing around with ChatGPT and just trying to get a outline together to actually get something where I can come home and just start shaving away at whatever I need to do. Because Job ain't it, man. Job ain't it.
Yeah, we already knew that. Huh? How many times we need to learn that lesson? You know what I'm saying? We
Repeatedly,
just go
man. It just
keep learning the same lesson over and over, keep reinventing the same wheels, keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. But you know what? We're here to talk about that tonight. We're here to talk about that. I like that. I like the topic that we getting into. I got a few things that kind of reminded me of the same thing. You know, we all, the only thing that really is important at the end of the day is that we all come to the same conclusion and that we self-assess enough to move forward. So this, I deal with a lot of people who don't self-assess on a regular basis. If you are afraid to self-assess, feel free to listen to this episode and claim how perfect you are. But at the end of the day, once you finish claiming how perfect you are, at least do me a favor and look at really take a hard look at everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, the people that you hang with on a day-to-day basis, the activities that you do on a day-to-day basis, and reevaluate, bro. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I ain't asking for nothing else. So yeah, bro. So look, I talked to Mark about this, but I feel like we should kind of talk about it on the podcast. But bruh, if folks cut my money, man, it's wild.
that is insane.
It's wild, bro.
Still baffled.
Like, I'm just like, yo, I mean, I kind of seen it coming. My manager kind of pulled me to the side like a month ago. And I wasn't even thinking about it, like trying to put too much energy into it, because I'm like, yo, we working our way out. We working our way out anyway, so I ain't really like, it is what it is. Like, I'm trying to sell a house. We trying to get our RV and everything so we can start making that move. I think that might be the first time I said that on the podcast, but yeah, that's the plan right now. We're traveling for business right now, so that's what the plan is. That's what the goal, the overarching goal. But with all that in mind, I'm just like, it is what it is. And he kind of hinted at it. He didn't necessarily say what was going on. So he just said, yeah, I respect you. You you one of those go-getters. You don't BS. You're one of the people here that if I want something done, I come get you. You're a good salesman and everything. I just wanted to let you know that some stuff is coming down the line. I don't agree with it. None of us agree with it, but October 1st is some BS coming. I just want to let you know because I know you got a family to feed at home. So, take that how you want it, to keep it on the hush hush. But, I just want to let you know first. And I was like, all right, cool. The ship's sinking. I'm already on it anyway. I mean, shit, ain't no point of flailing now. Like, I might as well wait until I hit the water. So, last week we came in on Tuesday and they dropped the news on everybody. Like, all right, so this is what happened, and y'all pay getting cut in half. Half. And I'm just like, yo, we trying to survive off of what we got now, and you telling me we about to get less? Okay. All right. That's what we doing here. That's what we doing here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and, I talked about the fact that I'm working a salary job. But salary was, excuse me, the salary was meant to hold us over for whenever we in the slow season. But the way they calculate their numbers, salespeople ain't making no money anyway. So like, it's just like one of those situations where it's like, well, if this is the scenario, y'all to change the whole game up, you to move the needle all halfway across BFE, and if the goals are harder to reach and it's harder to make money, what do you think is about to happen here? Like y'all had to know that this was coming. Either y'all knew this was coming, or you just trying to get a whole new group of people in here. Like you trying to clean house and get some new blood in here. Like that must be what we're doing here. So I think that's what's happening. My man, he acting like he about to leave and all that other stuff like that. But yeah, I really do feel like it's just one of those situations where they trying to get us out of there because they think that we not doing they don't want to take responsibility for their stuff.
That's wild. That is. I mean, but that just goes to show that, you know, as stable as we think that job is, as secure we think a job is, they can change up at any moment. Like that is hell, bro. That's insane. That yeah. So when you sent the message and you were talking about like, you know, the gut punch, I was like, all right, you know, they gonna, you know, shave a little off the top. No, that's
Yeah, a little off the top. That would have been more acceptable than what happened. Like when everybody heard the news, like everybody who even worked in the building with us, they heard the news. They're like, "Well," like I was just talking to the service manager. He was like, "Well, I guess it's gonna be a while before somebody actually sells something on purpose, huh?" He's like, I can imagine that within the next few weeks, I ain't gonna see none of y'all. It's like that's pretty much the case. Every last one of us talking about getting up out of there, bro. Wild. They had two guys come in within the last month, and they were making like a 500 a week, and and then they was like, so by the time you finish your training, when you're done with your training, you'll be making 1,000 a week. That's where we were at. So they was like, all right, cool. And they hit them boys with the news on Tuesday, just like everybody else. Like, so that remember we told you could be making 1,000 a week. Yeah, that's not the case. Yeah. And one of the dudes was like, all right, cool. I holla. And he walked up out the door.
That's insane. But
it's wild stuff, bro.
You know, we say all that because this can happen to anybody. Hell, some people even just do it to themselves. They don't get they mindset right to get themselves out of situation. They constantly put themselves in situations like that.
What episode is this?
This is episode 256.
So we have been saying all along that this is happening to everybody. The entire length of this podcast, we have been talking about some kind of variation of this particular situation right here. So to say one way or another, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared I was for this conversation when they sat down and had it with us. Like when my man told me, I was just like, all right. And he was like, all right, so you got a contingency? I was like, I had a contingency when I started. I said, I needed something to hold me over. I ain't need something. I wasn't looking to make a career out of this. And he looked at me and was like, what do you mean? I was like, bro, I saw from the beginning that y'all won't nobody about to get rich off y'all. Like, so I mean, it is what it is. Like, I thought it was just business. I mean, being that you taking offense to this conversation, I don't know where we go on from here, but you know, it's just business. But yeah, we've been talking about this thing since day one, bro. Well, I ain't gonna say day one. I'm talking day 26, I guess you could say, when we finally decided to start talking about something that made sense.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like you said, it's always better to bet in yourself than bet into a job, because like this can happen. Hell, they could have just walked in and fired all of y'all on the spot with no questions asked. All right, we
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
we ain't making what we making. All y'all get out. We closing up shop, and then turn
Starting over
around.
new.
Yeah, facts.
Starting over new, and ain't none of y'all coming.
And people,
We
it is wild, man. Yep. But no, for real, like we said before, like we said on other episodes, I think we put a clip in one of the episodes of, the dude at the what was it, warehouse, that warehouse building dude was going off. Y'all playing with
Yellow
our
trucking
money.
company.
Yeah. First of all, the thing is, it ain't your money. If you
It's house
ain't
money.
sold a product, had a service of your own, y'all have to realize y'all ain't working for yourselves. Y'all working for somebody else, making them rich, making them top dollar while you getting scraps.
You playing with house money.
And it's just, bro, people would have had meltdowns. People would have cleared out their savings. Oh man, what am I to do? Went into depression. Would have came home and started just being toxic at home because they put all their faith, they put they mind, body, and soul into the job, and the job just ripped the rug right up under them, and then you ain't got nothing. Like, why put yourself to that if you ain't? Just why? This is why y'all need to be in your bag. Just y'all need to do the things y'all need to do to get out of these situations, because it
Bruh,
can
sell them
happen.
some, bruh. Like, yeah, this is why y'all need to be listening to this podcast.
Big facts.
Like, let's not fuck around with it. Like, we having a real conversation that your coworker's not having. So, like, I'm blessed to know that I'm in the environment where people are semi entrepreneurs. So they was just like, yo, I know my value. So like, it is what it is. Like, this company, we were making good money. Like, that's about it. Like, it was good-ish money. So like, we all got other
Everybody
stuff
was
going on
content.
outside of here. So it's like, when they told us, like, won't nobody tripping. Actually, the only person that was tripping was the dude that still lived with his parents, that still got his parents paying for all his stuff. Like, he was tripping over it, and I almost punched him in the dick because he was like, I pay my parents $600 in rent. And I'm like, he said, I pay half their mortgage. I'm like, how, bruh, the fuck out of here. How much is their mortgage? She said $1,200. I'm like, man, get out of my face, bruh. You over here talking like you got, man, get out of here. And they pay your cell phone bill. You on a cell phone plan with them. You on insurance plan with them. They pay your motorcycle insurance. Like, get out of my goddamn face, man. But yeah. The only person that was tripping was him for some reason. I'm not sure how that worked. You the youngest one in here. The man ain't even 19 years old yet. And he up here complaining about, man, yeah, but yeah, everybody else was pretty much like, all right, cool. The old girl that we work with, she pregnant. She about 30 weeks now. She got about 8-9 weeks left until she give birth to her baby boy. But she was like, all right, yep. But she was consistently a top salesman. And they changed the pay plan on us, and she started making what everybody else make. even with selling as much as she was selling, like she was selling like 20, 30 units a month and still only making $1,000 a week. And she was like, well, if that's the case, then why try?
Dang.
So like, I brought that up, and I told you, right, because I noticed something.
Mm.
And we can. I want to just say this, and then we can go ahead and just transition on into the topic. Because this kind of relates to the topic,
Yeah.
in a small sense, but like I just want to be a part of a winning culture, bruh. And like I don't feel like I'm learning winning culture mentality by being here.
Ooh.
Like when you in a losing culture, you feel losing when you walk in. Like I feel the desperation in my management. I feel the death that happens when in the energy in the air. Like I feel it. Like the way we talk about our next move. Like the fact that everything is holding on to something that we don't have instead of going out to gain something that we need to get. Like I want to be a part of a winning culture, and like just looking at how we do activity. And listen, I hear that, right? How we do activity as part of that culture, like I don't enjoy it because it's not winning culture behavior. We don't have winning culture activities. We do winning culture stuff. We do winning culture actions, but we don't have winning culture habits and activities. So, I just want to be a part of a winning culture. I probably gonna have to build that joint myself because like it seemed like the owners of every business, they got the winning culture stuff down pat. But it's just when you start talking about people that they got to delegate their life to, they delegate their business to. That's when you start talking about people losing the fire. So I'm not saying. So you got GMs and managers of the establishment that the owners are making. The owners out here killing it. They just like starting up joints left and right. They got the game on lock. But they gotta still be able to translate some of their mentality over into the people that's working for them, and that transition never works. Like it don't, bruh. Yeah, I promise you. People complain about Jeff Bezos all the time, bruh. But I promise you, if Jeff Bezos went into some of the buildings that are built in his name and his honor, and he saw some of the stuff that was going on around there, it'll be a whole different situation. So like I just want to be a part of that winning. So, I just want to go ahead and put that out there. We can go ahead and jump into the segue a little bit. But yeah.
I got you. Ooh. That's interesting that people don't see that, or they never get to be a part of that type of culture. Mainly because they dream. They dream of that type of culture, or they stray away from it. They don't take the actions to move into that culture. A buddy of mine, we was at work. We talking on the phone. We try to stay in contact with each other, make sure everybody's we doing the right thing and whatnot. We got to talking. He was like, man, I want to got this book. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to start this nonprofit. I want to be the person that gives back to the community. The back to school jank. I want the parents and the kids to come through. Everybody get a book bag, put stuff in it. Blase splee. And I'm like, well, we got such and such in town that he had a nonprofit and all this other stuff. So we it's nothing to just go ask him. He work at the barbershop. He the barber. Be sitting there getting a cut one time, just pick his brain and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, I want to do all this stuff. I got this book of dreams, And then he sat there and he was like, you know, we be talking about all this stuff, but we don't act on it. You know, my book of dreams is larger than my book of actions. I don't really got a book of actions. And a lot of people go their whole life just adding to their book of dreams. They got a encyclopedia worth of dreams, of thoughts, stuff they could have acted on, but they never put them in the book of actions. They never write down a single page of action that they've taken. And they pass away with nothing.
I want to break the monotony of this stigma real quick. And just go ahead and put it out there. I got a long book of dreams when it comes to the eighth universe. And the problem is that I come up with a lot more ideas than I come up with books. So you're gonna have to give me a pass on that. I need a pass. Like I got 290 some characters, and they just there. They ain't even got no, like half of them ain't got their books ready yet. Like I ain't even talked to the people who brought them into the story yet. So like I need a pass on mine. So I
I
feel
give you
that
that.
I
Yours a little
got you.
different.
I
Your
got
situation a
you.
little different.
But as it pertains to the clerical stuff, or the not the clerical stuff, but I talked about last week with the Gemini gave me the positions that would run my company. There was the executive positions, or the executive branch, and then there was the art department. And see, my problem is that, with my business, I got a lot of art department tasks. And I tried to convey that on the last episode, but I ain't necessarily get into it the way I wanted to get into it. But like, we got the executive branch, we got the art department, we got the sales team, and we got I think it was another one, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was like PR management, marketing, and all that other stuff like that. So like, for real, like I spent a lot of time in the art department, making sure that the book is right, creating the cover and all that other stuff like that. I can freak that. I can't wait to work on the next cover for the next book. I can't wait. I can't wait to put out some artwork right now. I can do art. I can do that. Like that's not a problem for me. But the problem is that, it's not a lot of action where it needs to be at. For all I know, I could have had a bestseller already. But I got a whole bunch of tasks built up. And I can show you my Trello right now. Like I got a whole bunch of tasks that's dedicated to the creation of Aether. But I got a card, or is it called a card? No, it's a list under the board. But I got a list under the Aether board dedicated to marketing and research. And it's like 7 things on there. The problem is that those 7 things are really impactful, but I got like 20 other lists that got other stuff on it, and they constantly getting stuff added to it. Ain't nothing coming off. It's a constant flow of things getting added to those lists, and it seems like it's a lot being done. And on the surface, it may be, but I ain't got the right stuff going in the right places. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
It, it's very easy to get boggled down, to get overwhelmed, to get fall into, I guess, like, I ain't gonna say focusing on the wrong thing, but giving too much attention to one thing instead of spreading it out evenly. Like there's some things you can't really neglect to get something off the ground, or to uh to add to your book of actions. like with the nonprofit. Yeah, you can sit there and, collect whatever you need for whatever situation you're trying to get. But then you have to somewhere down the line get the building, get the word out. Like if you don't promote it, or if you don't even let people know, what are you doing? Like you, with this entrepreneur piece, you gotta put yourself out there. Sometimes it's gonna be raw, it's gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna be in a very vulnerable situation, but you gotta go
Right.
through that. You gotta learn. You gotta break through that, because all you know is 9 to 5. All you know is I made it here. I get a paycheck now that I'm here. Nah, once you get out of that 9 to 5, you make the paycheck. You gotta show up. You gotta advertise. You gotta sell it. Then you gotta do the work after you done sold it. You still gotta do some work. Um, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but it's worth it. It's damn sure worth it.
I think it's interesting how so many of us, whenever it's time to get something done, we never actually take into account the amount of action that's going to take,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be required in order to get something off the ground. And, they said that a a rocket, a NASA spaceship, spends its most fuel leaving the ground, leaving the Earth's
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere. Like it spends its most fuel during the entirety of its journey. Like I'm talking going from this planet to another planet. It spends the entirety of its fuel, like mostly on leaving Earth's atmosphere because it's fighting against gravity. You're talking tons and tons of steel fighting against gravity and going into the atmosphere and having to break through the the exosphere in order to get out into space. Like that, I can imagine that takes a lot of force. You know what I'm saying? So you know, there's a lot of in the same vein, there's a lot of things, especially if you don't have a footing already. I with the Aether universe, I'm literally building it from scratch. Like there was no Aether universe before AJ McMullen came. Like there was nobody building this. I didn't come in on somebody else's project and start working on something. I saw something, got inspired by something, asked a stupid question, and all of a sudden I got a whole universe building itself behind it. So, there wasn't any there was no guideline to this. It was literally just jump in, get some stuff knocked out, and I ultimately did that. I didn't really get serious about it until I met this guy, and just started working on the Gem State Siege at the time. But like there, I spent a lot of time doing that, but I didn't spend a lot of time broadcasting the book. I didn't spend a lot of time talking about the book. I didn't spend a lot of time other than going to conventions, but that's what you're supposed to do at conventions. But I won't making any sales otherwise. I won't making any sales online. I was on the internet everywhere, but I wasn't talking about the book in the right places. So like that was another thing that I could have been doing. That's another step. Like just another task that I could have done in order to make something change. And like I could have made that task already, did it, and showed it to the right person who would have started doing the same exact thing, showing it to somebody else. There's another task that I did. I ain't even do it, and I did it. All right, I think I got too deep. I think I went too deep. Let me back up for a second. All right, uh, all right, let's
uh,
start from the top.
nah, but yo, that's real though. Like even from all right, so from where you said you had to start it from scratch to uh putting some basically putting some structure behind it. Doing certain things um other than just creating. Uh, eh, Like if y'all don't understand what we're saying, bro, that's just like another level of freedom that you could be enjoying. Like just your creativity running wild. And when you're first starting out, make it raw, go big. Like just create. Like, and then once you get good at it, once you get to a certain level, start to focus your creativity, English, focus your creativity on certain groups, take it to certain places to show it off in XYZ, just like that rocket. A lot of fuel is being used to propel itself upwards, and then once it gets to a certain level, the engines or whatever, it's more focused to shoot it through the exosphere, as Max said. Same thing through life. Same thing doing your creative task. Like I said, just go big, dive into it, just create. There's magic in that. That's a magical feeling. Like if y'all haven't noticed, when Mac talk about the 9 to 5, it's a lot more monotone. But when he talk about the eighth of universe, bringing that junk from scratch to where it is now, and it still has room to grow, can't get this man to stop talking. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But people never experience things like these. All because they stuck. They stuck on the ground. They don't see themselves no further than what they can see. They look up and it's like, oh, no, that's the ceiling right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Alyssa had this genius idea, and I just kind of followed along with it because I love affirmations.
Okay.
So she read this article, it talks about how to set up your phone for success or to get you in the habit of becoming a successful person, and how you can do folders on your home screen on your phone. I believe that most phones, 99% of phones these days, you can make folders or app folders on your home screen. You can name them joints whatever you want. So she come across this article that said, name your folders based around your apps and um name the folder itself something like, just something uplifting. So instead of having a bunch of social media apps in one folder and calling it social media, say I am connected and you put an affirmation in front of it. So I followed along. I was like, oh, that's
That's
dope
tough.
for real. Like
That's
that's
tough.
dope. So let's go ahead and make that happen. So, I started naming folders. I got, I am connected. I am I create money, or what is it? I spending money, and then it's I am the ATMs. Spending money is negative. So, I made that joint red. I made it red and just called it spending money. And I just left it at that. I am the ATM, and I travel, and I am connected. So, I wanted to keep those three things at the top of mind, and just go from there. And a few months ago, like shortly after I did it, I your phone tell you like what apps you use the
Use
most
the
and all
most.
that other stuff like that. I noticed that, I spend money even though it's red, or spending the money even though the folder is red. And I even got the little stop sign emoji on that joint and everything, try to keep me from using the stuff so much. And spending the money gets most of the attention. So like I noticed, I'm like, so if I am, and I want somebody to catch this. If I want to stop spending money, why do I consistently open the spending money folder? But not only that, as I'm looking at my spending money folder, noticing how many different apps is in it. There's like 3-4 pages of apps in the spending money folder. But then I open the the I am the ATM folder.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one page and a few apps that I don't even touch no more. Like so much so that you got to enable them joints when you open them up because Google Play to shut them joints down to disable them because you don't use them. Like I'm just like, yo, what is this even? What does that even mean? I'm like, you know exactly what that means. That means that you're more focused on spending and consuming than you are doing the things that's going to make it. So, you know, I got Fiverr in that joint. I got like some like PayPal in that joint, Square, some other stuff, Cash App, just a bunch of money bringing apps, like you know stuff that's that you can gain an income from, some stock apps and some more stuff like that. And like I'm just like, yo, how is it that you don't even look at that stuff? You didn't even give it a second thought. Like you haven't opened this folder. There's no reason to open the folder if you're not doing anything productive. So for that, you like only thing you doing is writing. You didn't even put the drive is in that folder. That's the only time you go in that folder. And for the most part, at the time, that's the only thing I was doing. So I'm just like, yo, how do I reverse this? Okay, I reverse this by focusing on what's important to me. Is spending my money more important to me, or is it making it? Because I can talk about spending it all day long. You know, I can get on the app and spend hours searching on Amazon for something that I'm looking for, trying to find the best price, and skipping the fact that I just went down like 4 or 5 pages with the same exact goddamn item for $5 more because I didn't want to pay for shipping. But you know, I've been spending a bunch of energy and a bunch of extra activity doing this task opposed to doing spending time where the ATM is.
So again, it's all about, and we ain't saying it's bad to spend money, but when that's all you're focused on, that's all you're doing, you're gonna put yourself in a position where you're spending more than you're bringing in. You gotta put your attention in other areas. Uh, you know, they say too much of a good thing in return, it's gonna turn into a bad thing. You can't gorge yourself on one thing. You gotta spread that thing. You gotta spread it. Um, that ain't prime example of like what y'all need to be doing. I don't know what is. Uh, but it's that is a dope article. That's a dope thing to do because you're gonna be on your phone. Everybody's gonna be on their phone 24/7,
For sure.
and just optimizing your time and where you put your focus at. It really does change. It really does make a big difference. Uh, like even the small jinks. Like, all right, I'm gonna put 30 minutes into exercising. I'm gonna put 30 minutes into reading this book on how to do without video gaming, writing books. Just 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. It really depends on what your passion is. Really depends on the person. You might need 30 minutes. You might need an hour. Might need 2 hours. It's all up to you. But like, put that you got to learn more than one thing, especially when you starting your own business from scratch, from the bare bottom. You got to wear a lot of hats. You got to be the executive, the manager, the producer. You got to do it all until you put yourself in the right environment, the right group, to where they can come in and they can just pick up where you lacking and just go. And
Yeah.
again, it's an exciting process, but people never experience it, and it's insane. They'd rather go to a job, complain day in, day out, get fired, get cut, get laid off, just be a slave to the system.
Yeah.
When in all
Yeah.
reality, you can be the boss.
I just want people to understand, like, you just you gotta be you gotta be intentional about task, man.
Mm,
Or like just the things that you're doing, like, cause you can write down a bunch of goals all day, like all day long, bro. Like, but the whole point of writing down a goal is to remind you that the task, which is the goal itself, needs to be taken care of.
yeah,
So like you writing down a whole bunch of action plans, a whole bunch of things that you want to do. You write down a whole bunch of results that you want to see, and that's the problem with most people. You writing down the results, and you like no disrespect to your homie who was writing down the stuff and got the book. Like I understand, I get it. You know, I listened to Grant Cardone years ago, and Grant Cardone said keep a log next to your bed and write down your goals every night before you go to sleep. So I get it. But you know, we tend to write down the desired results. So once you see the desired result written down, like, okay, yeah, I want to make this much money, X amount of money, but at some point you're gonna have to figure out how to get there.
yeah,
At some point you got to figure out, okay, if I want this amount of money, this is what I'm gonna have to do. Boom, boom, boom. Sell this right here. Talk to this person right here. Flip it. 29. Boom. Done. And our problem is that, you know, in our especially in our community, bro. Because I swear to God, our community, we struggle with this concept of actually planning our futures. Like we struggle with that. Like we struggle with with having something like a tangible goal and breaking that thing down into individual parts. Like we don't do that. Everything is a one part process.
mm,
And it's a horrible mentality to have, because when you have that mentality, you once again you forget that if you have a goal, then you need to start thinking about the action steps to get there. I don't know how we get to a society that you just say, okay, this is what I want to do, and then all of a sudden you just got everything you need to do to get that. Like I ain't never seen that. Like, you know, hey, I want to say that it has something to do with the fact that everything is so convenient nowadays. Like, if you shit, you can put
yeah,
together a light. You can put together a light kit right now. Like I'm looking at fucking light boxes all up in here in my studio right now, and you know all of it came in one pack. But back in the day, you had to actually search. Okay, I want this. I want a light setup. This is the
mm,
light setup that I want. So I'm gonna have to buy this piece. 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 Cause won't nobody selling all of it in one spot. You ain't get no discount, no bulk discount for buying it like that. So you had to go out and do each individual task until you got that whole set. But now, for whatever reason, everybody think that everything is all convenient and nifty. Or, you know, if I want to do this goal, I don't have to work at it. All I got to do is look at a YouTube video on it. The algorithm is going to say, this is what you want to do. So then some guru is going to be thrown in my face. The guru is going to charge me X amount of money. And he's going to I'm going to watch this guru's video. And the guru going to say, buy this book. And then the guru got me locked in a cycle. I'd have paid the guru. I feel real good about learning how to do what I said I was going to do, and I still ain't did it. but the guru got paid for doing it. So we doing a whole bunch of tasks. But we doing a whole bunch of tasks, so we going in the wrong direction.
Facts. Ah, that. And yeah, that's how the algorithm is set up for real. That is, and people just fall into that real
We
easy.
fall right on our face, bro. It happens all the time. That's how I found ET.
That's why.
It worked out, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like all right. So in the grand scheme of it, I'm pretty sure that algorithm, the way it was set up in a perfect world, you should get a result at the end, and it should be a snowball effect. But
Perfect
I'm
world.
pretty sure in a perfect world, but in this world, I'm pretty sure there's definitely gurus out there, like Max said, that they all they do is they put you they put you on that wheel, they put you on that hamster wheel, and you just run. They give you just a little bit, so you're motivated, so you're excited, you keep running. Then once you run a little while, once you start slowing down, they got something else for you to read or buy, and then it continues. This podcast, it's the thing that's gonna get y'all off that wheel. Because y'all been running. A lot of y'all run y'all entire lives and y'all don't get nowhere. You go a long distance, but you don't go nowhere at all. You spend all your time, your money, your focus, your energy, your life at the 9 to 5, or not doing the things you need to do to actually live, exist, to make a difference. And the thing is, some of y'all have like amazing ideas out here. Y'all want to change people's lives, but y'all can't. Because y'all not doing what y'all need to do. Y'all not putting in the right actions, the right focus into learning something to actually better somebody else's lives. Like, it's there. Y'all just gotta learn it. Y'all just gotta put the time in and do the damn thing. But
yeah,
jobs. All we worried about is jobs. All we worried about is spending money, doing things at a whim.
All we worried about is survival and making us feel good when we feel bad about our circumstances, bro.
Facts.
That's literally all it is. Like
That's life. That's life.
you're not trying to be anything better than where you are now. You're just trying to stay where you at and not move backwards. So, once you make the decision to not move backwards, now all of your tasks are focused on not moving backwards. And because you can't chase two rabbits at one time, you got a goal of not moving backwards, but you got this goal of moving forward at the same time. But well, the problem is that now all of your tasks are still focused on moving backwards, and it's impossible to move forward and backwards at the same time. So you get locked in this cycle of trying to survive. So all of your all of your survival tactics are happening. You may wherever once or twice jump up and do some moving forward stuff. And you could trickle and double that momentum over time. Maybe do some stuff in the background like I'm doing right now, working on the book. The book is something that I can stack up. Like, it's kind of hard to write 1,000 words a day and not have a book at the end of it. It's still a moving forward thing, but imagine how much I could get done if I won't try and if I wasn't so focused on not moving backwards. Like, imagine if I wasn't trying to move backwards, I have an extra 60, 70 hours a week to write the book. bro. How many more times do I have to say that before I understand it myself? If I wasn't so focused on, going clocking in on time and saving my UPT, like imagine how much money I could gain if I used my skill set on and bet on my own skill set. For whatever reason, once we get into survival mode, that's all we focus on. That's all we focus on. We ain't focus on nothing else.
It's insane. It is. It's literally the definition of insanity. And we've been in it like since I think Max said you started working at 16?
12.
A little bit young. 12? 12. So we got 12 and 16. Was it 16? Yeah, because I had my permit. All right. Been in the workforce ever since, and that's so sad, man. I don't know about Mac, but it's like you start working.
22. It's 22 years, bro.
Sometimes you you got praise for starting early to get into the workforce, to sell your soul to the workforce, and you grew up with goals, dreams, aspirations, all this stuff, and you got praise to say forget all that and start this modern day slavery early. And people don't see nothing wrong with that.
That's not a lie. He was 12 years old, slave labor. This state don't even allow you to work at 12. The man had to pay me under the table because he was like, bruh, I can't put you on payroll and pay you what I supposed to pay you because you too young.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody in my family was, hey, go ahead, boy, get that money.
Get that money. Not make the money. See, even the word in it, not make the money, get the money.
A bunch of broke ass, poor ass. We ain't gotta go there.
Right. But it's just we trying to get y'all to understand that not focusing on yourself has more than you can count negative effects. If you're not focused on yourself, you are literally just you stuck in a state of survival and stagnation. You're not going anywhere. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backwards. You are just another piece on a board that's disabled. You are one of those apps in the background that are just, it ain't being used. You ain't using your bag. You ain't using your creativity. You ain't using your talents. You are a disabled app that's on the phone that's about to be obsolete in 100+ years. 100 years. It's actually less than that.
You a space saver. We gotta compress you to save space.
Thanks.
Man.
There's more than life. There's more to life out here. And I mean, some of y'all never will experience it. Y'all never have that feeling of joy that comes from creating your own space. Let's forget about the talent. Talent is important, yes, but that talent is going to give you the freedom to create your own space, your own life, your freedom, your whatever you can imagine your life to be. If you want to wake up one morning, go on a boat, go visit a different country, visit something you haven't seen before, you can do that. That's a possibility. That's not something you have to strategically work 60-hour plus weeks to get to. No, you just do it.
Man, I don't even know if I have more to add to that, bro. Like, I just want to make it clear that it's really important to understand exactly what you're trying to do. Because if you don't know what you're trying to do, then you'll just end up doing a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Like, a lot of people don't even define what they want out of life. I know for a fact that I want to grow the Aether universe. I know for a fact I want to grow the Ascension brand. I want to grow uh, my family. So like I got to do things that's going to support those situations opposed to the things that I've been doing. I got to focus on the right task to grow those things. The right ones, not just any ones that I feel like it. So in order to do the right ones, and nobody's gonna be able to tell you right off the bat, you might have somebody who's very experienced in what you're doing. You might be able to get away with asking them, but for the most part, is you got to do it yourself. You got to figure it out yourself, because don't nobody know your situation like you know your situation. Don't nobody know where you need to go better than you. The person who decided to chase that goal. So if you create the goal, it's not just enough to create it no more. It's not. You don't have the same luxury of just being able to create your goal and just leave it sitting. Just I don't even know if that was never a thing. I don't think it was a thing. Anybody that can like I answer that for me. Like if that was ever a thing, you could just create a goal and then the universe can be like just coming to read your little journal while you sleep and just say, okay, yeah, I can solve this one tonight. Last time I checked, every list of actions need a list of tasks to get them done. It is what it is. So it's up to you to decide if you're going to be efficient while doing that, or you just going to be spinning your wheels until you're done, until you in the ground.
Mm. All right, people. Look.
Speaking of in the ground, if I don't go to bed, I'm gonna be in the ground. Fucking got my old ass up this late at night, man. What the hell is wrong with you?
You as old as you feel, yo. Time is a fabrication.
All that. I've been up since 3:00 this morning. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I need to go to sleep.
Alrighty, people. Plot out your course, set your pen, and focus on the journey until you get to the destination. This is all we have for y'all. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. And it's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the AJ McMullen. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember that those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.